From the creators of Relevant Magazine, this is the Relevant Podcast.
I'll wait for the penny drop. Hey, I'm never gonna give you up my love. Black rainbows never stop. Hey, I'm never gonna give you up my love. Give you up my love. Whispers, lies, the ghosts in your eyes, that burn paradise, like rainbows from my eyes.
It's the week of Friday, December 1st, 2017. Merry Christmas, everyone. It's the Relevant Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and this week's show is brought to you by Lady Bird. Lady Bird is a new film starring Saoirse Ronan and Laurie Metcalf, and is directed by the super talented Greta Gerwig. Essentially, it's a coming-of-age story about a turbulent mother-daughter relationship. It is the perfect prodigal daughter story. Rotten Tomatoes just announced that Lady Bird is the best-reviewed movie ever.
Wow.
Its rating is still 100% on the site, and that's after 173 reviewers nationwide.
Wow.
With total unanimity.
Totally unanimously.
There you go.
Completely
That
unanimous.
never happens. We're coming into award season, and Lady Bird is showing up everywhere. It was nominated for Best Picture by the Independent Spirit Awards and the Gothams, and the National Board of Review just announced their annual awards, and Lady Bird was named to their top 10 list. Laurie Metcalf, the mom in the movie, won Best Supporting Actress, and Greta Gerwig won for Best Director. Pretty good for a first-time director. Go see it. It's opening wide. It's pushing out. We saw it. I loved it. So it gets the relevant stamp of approval. So now that's 174 reviews on Rotten Tomatoes.
And you know, Greta Gerwig now owns the new record for the highest per theater intake for a movie of any movie directed by a female director of all time.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. And you know why? They're sponsoring the Relevant Podcast this
exactly,
week. Lady Bird, everybody.
And can is it too late to give a tease for the next issue of the magazine? Because there may or may
Too
not.
late? It's still not out.
Early.
So
Too
it's-
early.
Oh,
Too
yeah.
early. To give a tease for that, there may or may not be an interview with Greta Gerwig in there. So
There you
That
go.
wasn't much of a tease. It was just saying, like, Greta Gerwig's going to be in the magazine.
Eddie, don't ruin everything
tease would
with
be
your
like-
marketing talk.
No, a
I'm trying to,
tease would
it's
be
called
like-
it's called building hype, dude.
Yeah, it's like somebody from the Lady Bird movie will be in the magazine. That's a tease, because then you're like, oh, who is it?
I didn't say what she said.
No, you're
It
just like,
was-
here's
it was
who's
shocking,
in the
frankly.
magazine.
Like I said, I'm your host, Cameron. Here with me in our Orlando studios, Eddie Big Hat Koffoltz.
Nice to see you, Cameron.
Over there, our new managing editor, Andre Henry.
Yo.
On the ones and twos, our illustrious producer, my brother, Chandler Strang.
Hello.
And joining us live and in person, in the flesh, from Virginia Beach, Virginia, here in Orlando, Florida, for a few days, Jesse Carey.
Hello.
Yeah,
Good to be here
Skype
in
has,
person.
there's been a noticeable like downturn in usage. They just don't know what to do without Jesse being on with us for 3 hours in the middle of the week.
Right.
Like,
Skype's
The real crisis.
stock plummeted.
real big crisis.
Hey, we have a great show in store for you today. Coming up later, Beth Moore joins us.
Oh,
What?
Beth Moore is the best.
Oh, she's a pistol nowadays.
yeah, I love her.
Yeah.
This is, I will say this is I always say, like, they say something shocking as a joke because she literally says stuff that I found pretty shocking.
She's if you don't know Beth Moore, she's a famous author, speaker, leader in the Christian women's movement, and she has gotten a little spunky on Twitter over the last year or two, given the climate in America.
Yes.
And she is one of the Christian leaders I'm most proud of. A lot of them have just kind of fallen into, just kind of sheepism in this odd climate, in kind of Christian political situation. And Beth Moore and others like Russell Moore, not related, and other leaders too, have kind of said, you know what? This is crazy. This isn't okay.
Yeah.
And we're proud to have her on the show today.
And I think of all the leaders that, because like a Russell Moore or someone like that that's also stood up, someone like Beth Moore, I feel like has the most to kind of lose from going against the grain.
Yeah, for sure.
Because of the kind of the size of following that she has. She's an independent ministry. So to see her standing up in these kind of uncertain times is really encouraging.
Most recently has been speaking out about, all the egregious sexual assault news that's been happening, and especially as it relates to the church and stuff. She told us that she's lost 30% of her following
Wow.
because of speaking up for what's right.
Yeah,
And I mean,
that's
it's like,
crazy.
hey, you know what? She's gonna come on the show today. We'll get that 30% back. We'll get a new 30%.
Yeah. People really like people like that to stay in their lane, don't they? They want her to be the kind of like funny, sort of fiery Bible study lady.
Yeah. Yep.
And when she starts to speak, as a 3-dimensional person that cares about something other than the Bible study she writes for you.
The same thing happened with when a couple years ago, Lecrae started speaking out about racial injustice. Like his white evangelical fan base turned their back on him.
Yeah.
And he talked about that in the magazine. I mean, it was like a crisis of faith for him. Like, I don't belong there anymore. And so Beth Moore, the same thing's happening because she's speaking up about sexual assault and other issues that are social issues.
The crazy thing on that, though, is like Beth Moore's following is probably mostly women.
Yeah.
So like to speak about something that is affecting most of her audience and for, that same audience to be like, hey, what are you doing?
Feels like a responsibility almost. Like she's...
Yeah. And I mean, just the toxic political environment, no matter what your political personal leanings are, there has to be some voices to be like, okay, so this is Christ-like and this is not Christ-like. And not being afraid of what the political implications may or may not be. It's been encouraging to see her kind of stand up to this kind of stuff.
And also coming up on the show, we have, they're not a worship group. Beautiful Eulogy.
Yeah.
It's kind of hip hop and experimental indie music and worshipfulness, and it's amazing.
It's its own thing.
Yeah.
It's its own thing.
Beautiful Eulogy is on. They have a new album. They're coming on though to do the segment. I love this segment, the songs that changed my life. So some of the songs that are most influential to them.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah, good show.
Nice. See, that's a nice teaser. It's a good show. Right? That makes sense. That makes me want to listen to more. It's
I
not
didn't
like
say, Eddie, did I say everything that was in the next issue? Did I read the table of contents where I say there's an interview with Greta Gerwig? A teaser. She's not on the cover. It's just a teaser. What's in there? It's a little look behind the pages.
Yeah. We got something exciting happening in the show.
Not everything is literal, okay? Right. I don't think anyone was like, I was expecting to be teased. You just told me a fact, and I wanted to be teased.
It's just marketing.
I'm done with this podcast.
Just plain old marketing.
Unsubscribe me because I wanted to be teased about it.
Right.
All right, we're moving the show along. It's December. It's December. Have you guys decorated for Christmas? Are you guys good?
I'm not afraid to say happy holidays, Cameron. Happy holidays, buddy.
There's really only one holiday in December. And that's not true. Hanukkah's in December. So you're right.
And I celebrate them all.
You do.
Yeah. Yes, we've decorated.
Kwanzaa's in December too.
We've decorated.
Let's not forget.
Thank you. And we've decorated for the holidays.
Can I ask a question? Does
No,
anybody
you better
celebrate?
not.
Does anybody celebrate Kwanzaa?
Yeah, people celebrate
Okay,
Kwanzaa.
I didn't know.
It was Cameron. Sometimes they mix up the voices and they can't tell who's talking. It was Cameron.
This is, for me, it's a big month because it's the December to remember Toyota-thon. I have been waiting all year.
Are you getting a car?
I mean, I go to the lot. I've never bought one, but for me and my family, this is the Toyota-thon December to remember is just speaking of marketing, it's just a really special thing.
Yeah.
They have like free
Festivus.
eggnog in the lobby.
Festivus.
They've asked us not to come into the dealership if we're just coming in for free eggnog and candy canes, but just kind of get you in the mood for the season.
Right. They put the commercials on if they didn't want you to know about it. Don't invite us in for a free test
You said
drive.
a limited time. I got to go see it for myself.
Yeah,
I know this isn't coming around for another year. This is special.
Right.
Very true.
So, happy holidays.
Thank you. Moving the show along. It's time for our weekly look back at what happened in culture and entertainment. It's time for
In case you missed it.
If you were to concoct a Mad Lib of a successful relevant magazine content item,
Yes.
this is the one that you would use these names to fill in the blanks. Here we go. A video of Selena Gomez giving her testimony at the Hillsong conference went viral this week.
Because it would read like this: a video of blank giving her blank at blank went viral, and you would be like, "Oh,
Give me your
Selena
testimony
Gomez
at
testimony Hillsong conference."
Somebody wrote and they were being snarky on some comment somewhere. They're like, "Oh, are they gonna? If they talk about Christ, you'll post about them." And I'm like, "Well, yeah,
Yes,
isn't that kind of the thing?"
intersection of faith and culture. If people who are influencing culture have a moment of talking about faith or Jesus or whatever, yes,
Yeah, it's kind of our thing.
we cover that.
So you nailed us. Oh yeah, an influential person talking about Christ. Oh, how dare they? Really go so
cliche.
so let me get this straight. You're going back to the Christ well.
The singer was recently a guest at the Hillsong conference in LA, where she took the stage and read a letter she had written to herself that explained her personal faith journey and reflected how Christ's message became real to her. She read, "Selena, you are enough, not because you've tried hard, not because you have loved hard or put on your best face, not because you have been given a large platform, and not because others tell you you're enough. You are enough because you are a child of God who has been pursued from the very beginning. You are enough because His grace has saved you and covered you."
Yeah.
Here's a clip.
He is simply calling you to walk faithfully in a way that allows others to see that He is enough. Selena, you are enough. Not because you've tried hard, not because you have loved hard or put on your best face, not because you have been given a large platform, and not because others who tell you that you are enough. You are enough because you are a child of God who has been pursued from the very beginning. You are enough because His grace has saved you and it covers you. Every good thing you do will flow from this truth. What you give to others will always be an overflow of what He has given to you. Selena, you don't have to try so hard. You can rest.
See, it's cool that a pop star of that caliber would be that vulnerable. You know, it's a 5-minute clip. You can watch the whole thing on relevantmagazine.com in addition to what
That's
you heard
called
here.
a tease right there.
Yeah, that's a tease.
There it is.
Yeah, I'm not going to say what else she said, but
Yeah,
it was.
you can watch it.
It was vulnerable too, and you know, I don't hear a lot of like people who are known for being Christian artists or Christian thinkers or Christian influencers sometimes get as vulnerable as she does, and I thought it was a cool thing. You know?
Hey, in case you missed it, for the first time in Grammy history, a white male was not nominated for Album of the Year. Our time is done. The music industry is embracing diversity, finally. The Album of the Year nominees include Childish Gambino's Awaken My Love, Lord's Melodrama, Jay-Z's 444, Bruno Mars's 24K Magic, and Kendrick Lamar's latest album. Back in 99, 4 female artists, Lauryn Hill, Shania Twain, Sheryl Crow, and Madonna, and a female-fronted band, Garbage, were nominated.
Ooh, Shania Twain.
Yeah. Though several members of Garbage were men. Recording Academy President Neil Portnow explained to Variety that they've recently opened up the pool of voters to 13,000 people and for the first time allowed people to vote online. He added, "The results are reflecting the music of the times. Hip-hop and urban music is pervasive in our society worldwide, not just in America. So when that continues to be evident and evolve, this is a reflection of that." I was actually proud, not just of Best Album. There was actually, there's some good albums nominated in the different categories
The
this
only
year.
one, and it's not about, I think the diversity that is on display this year is awesome. The only one that got a ton of nominations that I don't think I agree with, not because of who the artist is, because of the actual album, is Jay-Z. Like, I don't think this is his best work. Like,
Well, it's not his best work, but it's an important album, and it's this year. It's one of the most important hip-hop albums. But isn't it weird that like this Jay-Z album could get all these awards when I feel like when you look back on his catalog, he's had more important and more influential moments. So you're saying almost like they're giving bias to this album because he, as an artist, deserves
it's like when Martin
awards.
Scorsese won Best Director for it was like The Departed or something,
right.
where it's like,
They were really giving
you
it to
should
him
have done it for Casino or something.
Yeah.
You know? Like they're making up for not recognizing for that,
Okay.
which I don't have like an issue with, but I look at every other album on that list. And I mean, I'm not like a big Bruno Mars fan, but I think you can make a case that they all were more successful records.
Well, yeah, it wasn't his most successful album, but I as an artistic piece of work, a meaningful piece of work, I think it was his most profound album.
It was definitely most personal, for
Kendrick
sure.
has to win that though, right? Like when you look at all those albums, was there anything objectively any better than that album in that
Childish
entire list?
Gambino's was
Yeah, I
great,
was gonna
but
say.
I
It
would
was
say
really good.
Kendrick. I would be my
I
pick
think
out
it's
of that
Kendrick.
selection. I went to the Jay-Z concert a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
This year. Little Jay-Z fact, FYI, I don't know if you know this. It'll blow your mind. 444, you know what that means? You know what it stands for? It's the street address of the elevator, the building that had the elevator where he was caught on
Solange.
tape getting beat up by Solange.
And isn't it the time of day that happened was at 4:44 or something like that?
I don't know about that. I thought it was in the evening. I don't know. That could be right. But
Wow.
it's the street address of that building. So like this whole thing is like the story of that.
Yeah, I think it's it is the most personal thing he's done, and it's where the one album where he's dropped some bravado and actually gotten vulnerable and humble.
Well, this tour that he's doing, which I just saw, does the same thing. Like it reflects kind of where he's at in this era. Like it wasn't a big show. I mean, it filled an arena, but it was in the round. And it was just him on stage. He had a live band and everything, but they were all like in an orchestra pit that you couldn't see.
Yeah.
And it was just him on stage for 2 hours. And it was like, there wasn't any flash. I mean, it was like some screens and stuff, but it was just analog, and it was intimate, and it was incredible. Hey, in case you missed it, this week, former President Obama sent a message to Jimmy Kimmel and Bono's Shop-a-Ton, teasing viewers that he would unveil secrets about aliens if they help him in the fight against AIDS. As part of the primetime special, celebrities encourage viewers to do Christmas shopping at Amazon.com/Red and check out celebrity hangout packages at omaze.com/Red. Red's raised over $500 million to help fight AIDS. In his brief address, Obama also encouraged viewers to fight against their own cynicism and come together for a world-changing cause. Here's a clip.
I know we live in a time when cable news and our Twitter feeds can make it feel like cynicism is everywhere. But when it comes to the fight against HIV/AIDS, there's some genuinely good news to share. For the first time in history, more than half of all people living with the virus are on life-saving medication. Since the peak of the virus, AIDS-related deaths have been cut in half. Today, more than 20 million people around the world are on antiretroviral drugs that make it possible to live, work, and raise HIV-free children. That's why I'm here tonight, and I'm asking you to join us. And if you do, you can pilot Air Force One for a day.
We can't do that anymore, sir.
No? We can't do that anymore?
Nope.
Okay. If you do, I'll share our files on the aliens. I don't know how badly Jimmy wants to see them.
We can't do that. Can't do that either.
No, we can't do that either. But I have them. They're in my desk right now.
We're classified.
Not only was this like a super positive and inspiring message, and he was like, I give a lot of credit to Democrat leaders, I give a lot of credit to Republican leaders, but this is something we can all come together for. But even turning it and adding those like kind of cheesy, but kind of like self-aware and funny jokes about, I will hand Jimmy Kimmel the alien files, which I have in my desk right now, if you help in this campaign. It's like, man, that's just like a cool
retired
message.
Obama is cool Obama.
Yeah, exactly. He's rocking backwards hats, eating ice cream cones. he's like windsurfing and stuff. Windsurfing.
He's always been really funny too.
Yeah.
He's got good comedic timing.
But the other thing too is, real talk, I want him to release those alien files. He's got nothing to lose. They know something. You know what? You know the biggest. Okay, time out here. AIDS relief is great. Go support Red if you're doing Christmas shopping. It's a great thing. Okay.
Now on to what I want to really talk about.
Put a pin in that. You know that I am like the most shocked about is that with the and I am shocked every day about different things that come out of the White House. I am shocked that someone with a personality like our current president has not opened up the desk and looked at the weird UFO stuff and just released it all to the public.
Or that there hasn't been
he doesn't have the
he did that with JFK.
Yeah, exactly.
There hasn't even been just a tweet where you're like, oh, it's all real. Like that he hasn't just been like, saw the files.
I bet they went in there and like, hey, listen, we got to hide the UFO stuff from this guy. He's going to blow the lid off this thing. We got like 50 years of secrecy.
He's not going to be able to.
It's shocking to me every day that he hasn't told us like real weird national security stuff, just accidentally. You know?
Just lost 30% of your followers, my friend.
Oh, snap. And in case you missed it, Facebook has unveiled its new artificial intelligence that helps in suicide prevention efforts. On a new post, Mark Zuckerberg explained how the social media platform has created a new AI software that scans posts to look for clues that a user may be suffering from suicidal thoughts or impulses. And from there, the posts are sent to human moderators who review them. The users are then sent mental resources, or in emergency cases, first responders are contacted.
Wow.
Zuckerberg said that the software is already saving lives. It's been more than 100 times first responders were able to help users.
No way.
Yeah. We're in 100 already.
Wow.
Yeah. And they've only rolled this out in select places. Like this is still like in beta testing.
Wow.
They can't even use it in Europe because of privacy measures, but I guess in regions here where they're kind of permitted to use algorithms to scan posts, it's been incredibly effective. Those 100 times are just times that they've actually sent first responders to people. Not all the times they sent mental health resources to help them based on keywords and patterns that they've been able to identify. I read another stat that this type of technology, like understanding the psychology of people who use social media, there was another tech company that developed an algorithm that was able to detect legitimate mental health issues just from scanning Facebook posts with like 80% accuracy.
Goodness.
Wow. So it's.
I mean, okay, this is amazing. That's amazing, saving lives. It's amazing. But the ways that this could get screwy.
Oh, well, I mean, that's
enormous.
There's always the.
I mean, what else could they monitor, and like then market at you or?
But they already do that.
Yeah,
you know
that's what I'm saying. That's already happening.
Like, I feel like they're already using this power for commercial benefit, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
I mean, the whole you consent for using. Like a lot of people
wasn't there a movie about like predictive crime fighting where like
Minority Report.
Was it Minority Report where they know pre-crime they want to stop you before you do the crime because they know that you're going to. That's where this is going.
It really is.
This is where it's going.
I mean, there's already. I mean, they already.
Here's the pattern of criminal behavior. Oh, we can see this 11-year-old is going down that path based on his Facebook stuff.
Well, if that's where it's going, we know where it's going to go after that, which is whoever's in charge of pre-crime is going to be charged for the crime, and he's going to go get the precog out.
Spoiler alert!
And,
you're supposed to tease it.
You're supposed to tease it. What if I forgot the plot of Minority Report, Eddie? What if I had forgotten Minority Report, other than like a basic? Oh, that was pretty good. He wore the cool gloves.
I remember there was
like
a house in the woods of some sort.
Thanks a lot.
Like that's where the precog grew up.
Yeah.
I have a strange amount of memory of that movie. I saw it like one time when it came out.
I saw it one time when it came out too, and now I want to watch it again, but now I don't.
I know, because Eddie spoiled it.
Maybe Eddie knew that I wouldn't want to watch it again. Because he had precog about
all predestination.
But in all...
is this a Piper thing?
Oh, it's all free will. All of this has already happened.
Yeah, I mean, it
it's all in
matter.
the blink of an eye.
Yeah, Tom Cruise.
So John Piper loves this. Tom Cruise loves Minority Report.
Yeah, I mean,
that's what we're saying.
It's a very Calvinist thing.
Yeah.
He was never part of the elect, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, unconditional election.
All right, well, that'll do it for In Case You Missed It. Stay tuned. Up next, Slices.
Two boys, one to kiss your neck and one to bring you back. Just get you out of bed when you're told from the night before for knocking at my door. Your head against the floorboards. Two boys, one to love you sweetly, one does so discreetly. Never really need me, but I'm sure that you'll catch your breath. You'll sleep into the day to wake up with sunlight across your room.
You're listening to Rostam. The song is Bike Dream. I had a couple of those once, and then I got a new motorcycle. At the beginning of the podcast, you heard Cut Copy with Black Rainbows to get you in the holiday spirit. This week's Slices segment is brought to you by Away, a baggage and accessories travel company.
Tell me more.
Yeah,
because I do not know what this is.
That was a tease, Eddie.
Listen,
tease.
Away creates perfect luggage. They use high quality materials while offering a much lower price compared to other brands, but cutting out the middlemen and selling directly to you without the retail markup. So all their suitcases are made with like premium German polycarbonate that's very lightweight. It bends and never breaks. The interiors feature patent-pending compression systems, helpful for overpackers. You seem like an overpacker.
Do I?
Yeah, you do.
Interesting.
Everything's TSA approved. They have lock, all this stuff. Both sizes of the Away carry-on can charge all cell phones, tablets, e-readers, and anything else that's powered by a USB cord. That's really cool. I like that. A single charge of the Away carry-on will charge your iPhone up to 5 times. There's a lifetime warranty and a 100-day trial as well. Away bags and accessories make for the perfect gift with their lifetime guarantee and 100-day trial. So there's a perfect size and color for everyone on your list this holiday season. Or grab an Away gift card if you can't make up your mind.
That sounds amazing.
Right now, Away is offering Relevant Podcast listeners a special deal. For $20 off a suitcase, visit awaytravel.com/relevant and use promo code relevant during checkout. Again, for $20 off a suitcase, visit awaytravel.com/relevant and use promo code relevant.
Just opened up Facebook, talking about Away.
Yeah.
Telling you.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't even hear about
That's
it
super cool.
until 2 minutes ago.
Okay, it's time for slices. What do you have, Jesse?
All right. Well, the first I have an update that I feel obligated to bring. An update on the slice I brought last week, which, I don't know, it's got a lot of feedback. I mean, people are very excited that they got to hear the story of Mad Mike Hughes, who was if you didn't listen, the quick update is over last weekend, he was planning on launching a homemade steam-powered rocket up into the air from the desert to get a good look at things and definitively
You want to
determine
go 1,000 feet, right?
a mile.
A mile.
5,000 feet.
1 mile. He was going to go up a mile. He was going to look around, make sure that the Earth is in fact flat, and parachute out.
Yeah. As opposed to getting into an airplane, which would take him
doesn't trust
30,000
them.
feet.
Doesn't trust them.
Yeah.
So I talked about this slice last week. I was pretty excited about it. So I was enjoying a couple days off for Thanksgiving.
Did you watch?
So on Friday, I'm like, oh man, Mad Mike is making his jump tomorrow. And
It's like July 4th, the hot dog eating contest.
Yeah.
It's appointment viewing around a holiday.
Well, the thing is, his plan was to broadcast it online as a pay-per-view event, and I don't know what kind of site he was using. So I was like, I got to find
It's a
Mad Mike.
Russian money laundering site.
I don't want to miss this tomorrow. So I'm going to get it all queued up. I'm going to figure out because
Are you serious? You were going to pay for it?
I was whatever price he was going to pay. I was going to pay, and so
way.
So this is Friday afternoon, right? Our podcast had just come out, and I started getting tweets, and people were like, "Hey, what's up with Mad Mike? When is this happening?" So I was like, "All right, let me settle in here," and I ended up
I'm going to send the wife and kids away.
Yeah, hey guys, I'm going to be tied up for the rest of the
Black
afternoon.
Friday.
Yeah, you guys do Christmas shopping. I'm going to hunker down here. I got 3 or 4 hours worth of stuff.
Cameron's
I
got me
gotta
doing
look
this
at.
really important project. Sorry.
It's a whole. I'm on deadline. I got to figure out what's going on with Mad Mike. So I go on his YouTube channel, and he has filmed a video which looks like he just left his Thanksgiving table. There's family milling around, and he is informing viewers that the launch was going to be delayed.
Oh no.
And that evidently there was a little dust up with the Bureau of Land Management.
Right.
He claims he had a verbal agreement that he could use their land. which to me, I'm no lawyer, but that sounds like a legally binding verbal contract. Where I come from, you spit in your hand and you shake the other man's, and that's a deal. That's a deal.
That's really just him walking outside going like, yeah, I can do this.
Yeah. So he informs everyone that there was a little dust up between him and the Bureau of Land Management. Well, look, who hasn't been there?
Right.
And
who among us?
Hasn't had their run-ins with the Bureau of Land Management.
Do they own the property he was wanting to launch from?
It's public land.
Right.
And so they said you didn't secure the proper permit. He said someone I called them a while ago. They told me it was cool, but evidently because it'd getting so much press, it was on the podcast that people were calling the Bureau of Land Management. Were like, hey, you can't let this guy do this. You can't let him launch a steam-powered rocket. And so he said, I'm going to have to go through a re-permitting process. And now he says he's going to do it next week. So, but here's a weird thing.
You know where they launch stuff from? Kennedy Space Center.
Yeah, he should come down
You
here.
can rent the launch pads.
Yeah, I mean,
SpaceX
but here was the red flag though, because so I watched this whole video. I'm like, okay, well that makes sense. He didn't have all the legal. He didn't strike me as the type that figured out the legalese of this beforehand.
His wife doesn't even really know about this. This is just him broing down outside.
But then at the end of the video, it's like, well, also like the trailer that was carrying the rocket broke down. So I probably wouldn't even made it anyway. And then I'm like, okay, wait a minute here. Wait here, Mad Mike. Okay, so first you had me sold that the Bureau of Land Management did not want to. That's enough evidence.
Yeah.
But then it's like, well, I mean, I probably couldn't even made it down because the trailer broke anyway.
Right.
So that was like, okay.
This is just like straight Tim Allen.
Yeah, there's always going to be, I got a feeling there's always going to be something, which for the health of Mad Mike is probably a good thing. But the other thing too, because he was interviewed this morning by the AP about this. And he went on and said, he reiterated the story about the trailer problems. And to me, because they had people from the Bureau of Land Management that confirmed it, but to me, if you can't get the trailer working, like a trailer is a very simple device.
Right. Like when
there's a surface, some other platform, a hitch,
and two wheels.
If you can't get this, you expect me to believe that you've engineered a steam-powered rocket that you're going to parachute off of? I'm beginning to think that this Mad Mike fellow maybe
Mad.
Yeah, he may actually be.
Well,
live up
he's
to his
running
name.
for California governor, wasn't he?
He is, and I can't
Oh
help
my
but this is
gosh.
going to hurt his election hopes.
Well, I
you know?
mean, you got to go. You got to stump. You got to drive around, and the trailer's broken.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he can't.
So I'm gonna keep my eye on this thing, and I will let people
We
know
know.
anything. I'm watching very.
Wait, is that your
extremely
slice, or
close.
is that just an
No,
update?
that's
Is
just
that
an
a
update.
pre-slice update?
That's a pre-slice update. So let me jump to my other one. This one's kind of update because we talked about it last year, but there's been some changes. The site
teaser.
The site Wallet Hub has released once again their look at the most sinful cities in America.
Oh, yeah, this was in the magazine last year.
I was
Yeah.
really proud of this list.
And it's pretty dramatically
Didn't we?
different.
We tried to combine two lists. We tried to combine in the magazine the most sinful cities with the most churched cities,
Yeah.
highest per capita of churches, to see if there was some overlap of hypocrisy.
Yeah.
And we thought, oh, this is gonna be great.
Yeah.
And there wasn't
kinda
really
all over
much.
the
of-
map. Yeah.
there was nothing we could correlate.
This year. So let me read real quick what was at the top of the list last year.
And they had a number of factors to say most sinful.
So
it was like the greed and obesity,
Greed,
and-
lust,
Yeah.
anger. So if you have gone to jail for like assault or something,
Right.
or
Yeah,
they have that
violent
database.
crimes,
They
that's
have
right.
like how income versus charitable giving
That's
for like
right.
greed. They have excess. They have lust, like money spent on like
a number
porn
of
and-
strip clubs.
Yeah,
and stuff like that,
exactly.
yeah.
So they look at this. They look at basically like sort of an amalgamation of the 7 deadly sins, and based on open databases of spending habits and legal and tax stuff. So last year, the most sinful cities were at the top of the list were New Orleans, Atlantic
wow.
City, Philadelphia, Tampa, Toledo, Louisville, Shreveport, Las Vegas, San Antonio, Columbus. A lot has changed in the last 12 months.
Oh, wow.
Wait, Tampa, Florida, and Columbus, Ohio were on that list?
Yeah.
And higher than
Columbus, I
Vegas.
don't understand. Tampa, I get.
Yeah. So this year, coming in at number one, how's
How's that higher than Vegas? Given
That's
the
what I'm
number of
saying. That's their whole
prostitution,
Yeah,
and
what's going on over there?
conspicuous consumption, and maybe that's visitors, not residents.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just on like the strip or whatever.
I guess in Ohio, it looks like vanity. How they I guess money spent on cosmetic type of products is very high. Like they're off the charts in Ohio. So, but this year, Vegas
It's not
claimed
exactly sinful though.
Well, they get very weathered, and so
it's a cold part of the country.
Yeah. So they
There's like wind blowing
They
across
need to
the
buy a lot of
plains all the
moisturizer and
time.
makeup.
Want to have
I
your
don't know.
T-zone getting
I don't
dry.
know. So
Lots of Botox.
So unsurprisingly, this year Las Vegas claimed the number one spot.
Wow.
They're
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
Oh,
Congratulations, Las Vegas.
But
That's what you'd
guess,
expect.
guess what number 2 was?
Bible Belt, Nashville, Tennessee.
Ooh, close.
Let me just say,
Go a little more
Let me
south.
say this one hits close to home.
What?
Orlando.
Orlando came in
The
at
second
number
most
2.
sinful
The
city?
second most sinful city in the world.
It has
And-
been a fun year, I'll tell you that.
And ironically, relevant move from Winter Park to Orlando.
That's true.
But can I say this? It's not.
Correlation much?
It's none of the fun sins, though. No, I'm just kidding. It's
Right.
I mean, like, no, there's no gambling on here. I mean,
Yeah, we don't have any gambling.
No, the problem is greed. It was off the charts in greed, and also laziness was pretty high too.
I was actually going to guess sloth just as a
Classic
joke. That was
Jim.
crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
But why?
But to
warm
be-
weather, everybody's outside.
Everyone's
What's
hanging out. And
slothing?
to be fair, I don't know. I was probably gonna get me in trouble. But there's a lot of elderly people here, and I wouldn't call that laziness. I would just call that old.
Yeah, you're around in third. You don't have to do anything.
A lot of
Actually,
golf carts
actually
being
Orlando's the
driven
youngest
around.
metro in Florida, and the average age is 30.
Yeah, they probably look at golf cart sales and are like, well, that person could definitely walk to where they're going.
Hey, do they?
One of the
you know,
laziest
actually,
home.
can I be honest? Do they include like a broader Central Florida thing? Because if the massive retirement community, the Villages, which is about an hour and a half away,
they're
was
very
included,
lazy.
that is a den of iniquity up there.
I was doing research for another project here. Do you know that they have the best credit in the country, though? They're literally the best credit in the country is the
well, they had
Villages.
enough to retire and move to
Exactly.
Florida and get a house.
Exactly.
Presidential candidates always go through there because
Yeah.
they're like, yep.
They're bored. They'll vote.
Yeah.
You get 100,000 votes.
Crazy.
Okay, so going down the list, Miami, St. Louis,
Sure.
Henderson, Nevada, Detroit, Baton Rouge, Tampa, New Orleans.
Tampa again.
Tampa's
a
gross.
lot of
New
these.
Orleans.
Wait, okay, you're from Tampa.
Yeah, it's gross.
Oh, and you know what? Tampa is far more lazy than Orlando, which is pretty lazy. So, so I mean, they got that.
They have they have a couple good restaurants, but no good.
A couple of good restaurants. That's all the entire city has going for it.
They're just too lazy to go anywhere. We got a couple of good ones. Why branch out? I've got a good one right here.
The Sizzler has a great special at 4.
Sizzler.
Yeah.
So the least sinful, South Burlington, Vermont. Pearl City, Hawaii.
There's a bunch of liberals up there in Vermont.
I know, evidently they're pretty moral according to this.
Those moral pagans.
Moral pagans.
West Valley City, Utah, which that doesn't surprise me. The Mormons tend to be.
Wow.
Where's Port St. I'm not familiar with my Florida geography. Where's Port St. Lucie?
Southwest.
West.
Yeah. Southwest.
So why? So that's actually extremely saintly. What makes that different than these other?
Well, because nobody
cities?
goes there. Nobody is really sure where it is. We don't know what goes on there.
So most people are headed that way, get lost, and they're so lazy they just stop in Tampa. They're so lazy they just stop in another Florida city and bring down their laziness ranking. So yeah, it's an interesting list.
Number 2, Orlando. That's so weird.
I know. That's what kind of
cities.
Yeah.
You would think family friendly, sunshine.
But you got to think that the tourists play into it. It's not saying Orlando residents, right? Because but the overall sinfulness of the city. Same thing with Las Vegas.
There's a lot of conventions here. I'll tell you.
I feel like it's probably culturally telling that the two top destinations on that list, Las Vegas and Orlando, are probably the 2 most business convention traveled destinations.
But you know the laziness thing here?
Yeah.
Youngest city in Florida, ton of college students, biggest university in the country is here.
Yes.
A lot of entitled millennials being lazy with their little part-time jobs and no careers.
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying?
You just saw 30% of
you just Beth Moored us. Except she was standing up against she was standing up against like abusers and people who abuse a platform.
I'm going to call out the plight of this generation. The laziest generation.
The golf cart using elderly. You should know better.
You have the greatest generation and the laziest generation. I'm just saying.
I just opened Facebook and there was an ad asking me if I'm looking for other podcast jobs because this thing is done.
So anyway, if you're looking to stay pure in your life,
don't go to Vegas or Orlando.
Yeah,
don't go on business trips. Is basically what you're saying.
There's a lot of like sinister stuff that accompanies tourism that kind of makes sense. It's like
kind of
gross.
Kind of gross.
Yay, Orlando.
That's why locals don't go south of downtown.
Oh, no, never.
It's just Sodom and Gomorrah.
Well, this is as far as we get.
I will say that, and they're pretty lazy. So they're not going to venture.
Oh, that's a whole 40-minute drive.
That's like a thing.
That's like a thing.
Can I golf cart that?
All right, what do you have, Andre?
I have Facebook will show you what Russian propaganda you've liked and followed. You might remember that it's pretty much been established that Facebook was used by Russian operatives to influence the 2016 election by buying all these divisive ads. Well, now Facebook...
And misrepresenting their source. So they were misleading ads because they were ads, clearly an ad, but it looked like they were coming from legitimate American sources or companies. And they were actually foreign.
It was scary effective because they even organized protests that real voters went to, like in Texas. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, that was something that I didn't know until I was looking at the story. I didn't realize that people were leaving
I need to
their
hire
homes.
more Russians for our social media marketing.
I know.
That's good.
They're very.
I don't think I could.
They're very good.
People went out to protest thinking that some American organization had put together this protest, and it was totally some
Russian.
It's good too if you get a Russian social media person. You're like, man, I noticed all the trolls are gone. Hey, what happened? Hey, what happened to all the trolls? Don't worry about it. The trolls have been taken care of. Was that German or Russian?
What accent that
was? Bond villain. It was Bond villain. They've been disappeared.
So you're saying that if
I'm saying they'll take care of it. I'm saying. They'll be taken care of. So that's all you need to know. The trolls won't be bothering us anymore. Yeah.
So Facebook is releasing a tool by the end of the year so that people can see what propaganda they have liked or followed.
Wow. Propaganda. So now they're determining what's propaganda or not.
Well, I think it's the stuff they've identified that was intentionally misrepresentative.
Okay. So you can go back and look and see the stuff that you were exposed to. It's not like a thing that moving forward you'll know like there's some tag on it or something.
It seems as though they're
thing
trying to, from the article I read, it's like they're trying to undo the wrong of the election. But it seems like they're setting a precedence now that if something does come up that is not truthful advertising, they're going to let you know.
Yeah.
I think we're fine.
But how will they moving forward? Because anybody, which is how they did this, anybody can buy and upload an ad and it immediately starts getting shown.
Well, I think they're saying that if it comes out like it did, that it was like if they determine something retroactively was misrepresentative, they will expose it to the users. They will let the users know who are exposed to it. So I don't think they're like taking additional measures to like block this stuff more than they already are. But if they determine that their platform was used for this, they'll let the users know who are exposed to it. By the way, that ad you clicked on, that thing you liked, it ended up being this or that.
Wow. There you go. Good for Facebook.
Yeah.
Finally trying to do the right thing when it's too late.
Yeah,
Thanks a lot, Facebook.
I was going to say, this would have been very helpful a few months ago,
Right.
Facebook. But honestly, like a lot... Probably again.
Just
a lot of the people.
Hey, the 30% already walked out.
Hey, a lot of the people that like that stuff and followed it and read it and believed it, you can go to them and tell them that was written by a Russian who wanted to sway the election and was not true. They'd be like, I don't know, I kind of think it was true. Like, it's not going to make a difference.
Right.
People who want to believe something absurd are going to believe something. They're already predisposed to believe whatever they read.
Right.
And if you tell them it's propaganda at a later point, it doesn't matter because it's not going to change their mind.
Yeah, they already went out to like an actual protest. So you say that to them, they were like, oh yeah, then where did I get this shirt?
Yeah, exactly.
And also, what did Hillary do with the emails? So answer me that question. Then I'll care
I
about
got one
Facebook.
word that will shut this down. It's called Benghazi. Maybe you've heard of it.
So
Maybe
see you
you
later,
heard of it.
Facebook.
Lock her up. What do you have, Eddie?
Well, it is, of course, the Christmas season, and I'm going to just kind of bring us home here because this Christmas we're really focused on.
Christmas time is here.
Eddie, we're trying to focus in on
Gets me on
what's
the snare.
what's important.
For those listening,
Oh, man.
Jesse
So
is
you know what I'm saying? And that Charlie
playing
Brown,
the drum.
that little.
Let's keep doing it. And the angel of the Lord shone upon them, and they were so afraid.
I just don't feel like Christmas this year. Why is that? Why is he so
You blockhead.
Why is it always so depressing? Like people love Charlie Brown, and it's like every time I watch it, I just get bummed out.
Oh, man.
Like, every time, I'm like this isn't fun. This isn't like
We showed it to Eve last year, and she's like, "This is really mean.
Yeah,
They're
but,
really
hey,
mean to each other, and it's really sad."
Don't watch the movie. Just put on the album. It's good.
Oh, we do the album all the
Yeah,
time.
I come and I decorate the tree. I put on the album on repeat.
Oh, just listening to Vince Guaraldi. Yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah.
nice.
Well, who doesn't know his name?
Well, I mean,
You were like impressed that he knew the name of the
Kelsey didn't know
iconic
it.
album.
I thought it was Linus.
yeah,
I don't see the Linus up here.
I gotta tell you,
This is very confusing.
yeah. Jesse thought it was the Stinky Kid.
There's
that plays all the
trio.
songs. Yeah,
Specifically, there's 3 of them.
no, that's right.
Yeah.
That's why they're a
Vince
trio.
Guaraldi's.
I always think it's limiting to call yourself a trio because it's like, what if one day you want to bring in just a harp player for a song?
Right.
You've wrecked your name.
No, someone has to leave then at that point.
Yeah,
It's
someone has
always
to
a
leave.
trio.
They should at
Revolving
least be
chair.
like trio
And
and, more.
it's not going to be Vince. So
No.
it's two of the people are out of there.
Vince
Yeah.
and his 2 favorites.
Yeah, and you got to feel like it's the guy that just plays the block.
Survival of the fittest.
Like, that guy's out of here. Well, this slice is not that great, so I'm
I
stalling.
thought it was hilarious.
Okay,
I thought it was
great.
funny. I thought it was funny.
A new study reveals the top 50 worst Christmas presents that people hate receiving.
I think this is
and
great.
it talks about who they hate receiving them from. So
Top 50?
top 50. So
That's
we
a
will.
lot.
That's a long list.
Yeah, we'll
I thought
just
we were going Family Feud style. Top 10.
I'm not going to go through all
You
50.
can go through at least the top 10 because they're
you know,
really
I'll take
crappy.
care of it.
Let's,
I'll take
let's
care of my
Family
slice.
Feud this thing.
I wasn't worried that you
Yes.
were going to go through all 50. I just
Not-
feel like that is a long list of top anything.
Let's do Andre versus Cameron Family Feud because you and I already read it.
Yes, that's right.
Oh, so we're
Family
going to...
Feud. Let's pick the top 10.
Chandler, will you keep score?
Sure.
He's
All right.
not going to keep
Of
score.
most hated gifts.
Now, as you get a moment to take
here
a
we go.
moment,
Ready?
take a moment to think. 'cause
Okay, I got one.
You ready? Go
Yeah.
for it.
Fruitcake.
Socks.
Bing, bing, bing.
Socks are on there.
Wait, fruitcake's not on there?
You know why? Here's why. I don't think people really give and get fruit.
I think it's like a Christmas joke, but like we're talking about.
Have you ever gotten fruitcake?
Well, yeah, actually, and they sell them at Costco. Costco's algorithm would not have them on the shelves if they weren't selling.
I would say
Listen,
Socks
Costco's
is-
not trying to give floor space to a
Socks
joke.
is number 4.
Can
Socks is number
I
4?
say something?
Wow.
Has anybody actually had fruitcake?
No.
Yes.
It's like Brussels sprouts. It gets a bad rap. It's a decent food.
Delightful.
Yes, I have.
It looks like Jell-O. Is it
It's
Jell-O?
fine.
I had
Yeah.
Brussels sprouts last night.
A nice cup of
Little
decaf
sriracha
after
sauce.
dinner.
Sriracha
Hey,
chipotle
let me ask you
sauce.
something.
Brussels sprouts is the best.
Did the container of Brussels sprouts you got from Uber Eats look a little light to you? Because I know an Uber Eats driver that he tries to eat pretty healthy, and that sounds like he might skim a couple off the top. It's a container. Who knows how many were in there?
Cameron, you got another guess?
A tie.
A tie, okay. What do you think?
0 for 2.
Are we a tie? Hold on, I'm looking up.
I mean, you know what? Let's go. No, that's number 22.
Tie's number 22.
I mean, you said
Yeah,
socks.
number 22.
Underwear.
There,
that was going to be one of my guesses.
that's,
too.
you know what? Sexy lingerie is number 12.
12.
We'll give you that.
And we're in Orlando, so.
So, yeah, I mean, it's pretty sinful. Basically, that's the only kind of underwear they sell here.
All right, everybody gets one more round, and then I'll burn through the top like 10 or 15.
Oh, man.
Number 10.
Sweater? I mean,
I said sweater.
You're not playing.
Didn't I say sweater? I said tie.
You don't-
I thought sweater,
You
though.
don't
but-
speak until the end, Chandler.
You know what, Chandler? If you would have said sweater, you would have gotten number 1 because that's ugly clothes.
Yes.
Ugly
What?
clothes.
That's the tie.
Chandler
That's
wins.
The
I'm
tie.
so sorry.
Tie is number 22.
I'm so
That's
sorry,
like an
Chandler
accessory.
wins. Ugly clothes. Number 2, toiletry kits.
Oh, right.
Right.
Like they
The-
sell
the-
at CVS because you forgot.
Exactly. That's it. You're on the way to the family
Yeah.
get together. You're like, give me a car. I got to get a card. And
Oh, man.
it's either that thing, a cologne
Yeah,
of
I'll be honest.
That is a
going
terrible
over to
gift.
family events. I'm not entirely sure who all's there. I'm gonna throw a couple little gift baskets in the trunk just in case.
You never know.
If, Aunt
worst
Ethel
case
shows up.
scenario, you got some pretty nice toiletries back in
Yeah.
the crib.
No, I've actually had those coffee assortment ones, whatever.
Yes.
It's like, well, I didn't have anybody to give that to, so I just had some
Yeah.
Starbucks
Yeah.
gift pack stuff.
So what am
for
I going to do with this
January.
trunk? I got a trunk full of toiletries and sexy lingerie. Now what am I going to do?
Aunt Ethel didn't show
That
up
sounds
this
so
year.
suspicious when you say it like that.
You get pulled over. You get pulled over to the office like, where are you headed, sir? You know we're in Orlando, right? I got to bring you in for this.
You definitely go to jail.
Yeah. So, socks, slogan t-shirts, movies you've already seen.
Slogan t-shirts, movies.
Candles. Candles, don't like them. Hankies. A scarf.
Hankies. Who's giving
Who
hankies?
buys handkerchiefs for people for Christmas?
It's kind of a weird gift, right?
Not like tissues, but it'd be the handkerchiefs you put in your lapel for a suit, right?
Yeah, which I think would not be bad. It's a little boring, but it's
Yeah,
not
it's boring. It's no different than a tie. Do a little tie and
Yeah.
hanky
Yeah, you
combo.
buy me a hanky,
Yeah,
you're dead
it's
to
usually-
me.
a mug set. A mug set is on there. That was another
mug
one I really
set.
liked.
I've done
Jesse, were
that.
there any others you liked?
Bad romance novels. How many people are getting bad romance novels?
The same ones who were given sexy lingerie.
Well, because books is a whole nother category. Like
Yeah.
some people just hate books. Some people are fine with books. They just don't want bad romance novels.
Right. A diet plan? Was on the top.
That's the most passive aggressive
That is
gift.
so foul.
It's like,
Yeah,
that's
from
like
a
getting
spouse to a spouse.
That's like getting a gym membership. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I see. Yeah.
Oh, that's
An Uber
foul.
Eats gift card for Brussels sprouts. You know the driver eats half of them.
You know what's not on the list? A lovely magazine subscription.
Oh, nice.
No big
Good.
deal.
Everybody this year, Relevant on sale.
I was
Give
a
it
little
now.
worried this was gonna shoot us in the foot, either with a sponsor or with us. But it turns out
It's
all of the gifts we've
wonderful.
recommended are
Hey,
great.
number-
movie gift cards. You can go see Lady Bird. You can give
Yeah.
a nice subscription to Relevant as well.
That bag sounds really cool.
Yeah, nobody said
Oh, yeah,
luggage.
yeah.
Everybody
Yeah,
wants luggage.
You don't see number 39 set of jams sponsoring this podcast. So.
This week's show brought to you by a set of jams.
we got cherry.
I just
we
shifted
got
into
grape.
Lake
We
Wobegon.
got. It's a lot of grapes. I'm going to be honest. It's like
There's a lot of
8
grapes.
of the 10 of these are grape
And
jams.
it's apricot,
Yeah.
which I don't think anyone
Set
likes.
And
of
number 9 is
jams.
apricot, which is terrible.
And it's a totally terrible thing.
All right, well, that'll do it for Slices. Stay tuned. Up next, Beth Moore joins us.
It was December 24th on Hollis Ave at the dark when I seen a man chilling with his dog at the park. I approached him very slowly with my heart full of fear. Looked at his dog, oh my God, a ill reindeer. But then I was ill because the man had a beard and a bag full of goodies, 12 o'clock at near. So I turned my head a second and the man was gone. But he must have dropped his wallet smack dead on the lawn. I picked the wallet up and then I took a pause, took out the lights and then it cold said Santa Claus. $1 million in it, cold hundreds of G's. Enough to buy a boat, magic car with ease. But I never steal for Santa, cause that ain't right. So I was going home to mail it back to him that night. But when I got home, I bugged, cause under the tree was a letter from Santa and the door was for me.
You're listening to Run DMC. The song is Christmas in Hollis. Hollis is in Queens. See, it's a reference to the neighborhood they grew up in. It's autobiographical.
educational.
There you go. This week's feature interview is brought to you by Casper. Casper is a sleep brand that continues to revolutionize its line of products to create an exceptionally comfortable sleep experience one night at a time. You spend 1/3 of your life sleeping, so you should be comfortable. And Casper mattresses provide all the support the human body needs in all the right places. Casper brand mattresses combine multiple supportive memory foams for a quality sleep surface with just the right amount of sink and bounce. I'm telling you, actually, we have a Casper. It's fantastic.
And that's all you want is the right amount of sink and bounce.
That's right. It's designed, developed, and assembled in the U.S. Also, Casper is not just a mattress company. They offer a wide array of products to ensure an overall better sleep experience. I'll tell you, the favorite pillow in the house is the Casper pillow.
I've heard they're magical.
And their sheets are phenomenal.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, really good. Casper offers affordable prices because they cut out the middleman and sell directly to the consumer. They also have no hassle returns if you're not completely satisfied. And everything is delivered right to your door in a small, how do they do that size box? I mean, when you get your mattress and it shows up looking like one of those little door mini fridges, you just wonder how...
It's in a jewel box. You got to open it up and run away.
Yeah. You can be sure of your purchase with Casper's 100-night risk-free Sleep On It trial, which Jesse does. He definitely puts it through its paces. Right now, Casper is offering Relevant Podcast listeners a special deal. You can start sleeping ahead of the curve with Casper. Get $50 toward any mattress purchase by visiting casper.com/RM and use promo code RM at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Remember, that's casper.com/RM. What does that stand for, Eddie?
Real men.
Relevant Magazine. Using promo code RM at checkout. Beth Moore is a best-selling author, an influential Bible teacher, speaker, and the founder of Living Proof Ministries. She's also a survivor of sexual abuse and a vocal advocate for victims. In the last year and a half, Moore has spoken out against Christians who ignore allegations against powerful people, warned about the embrace of a toxic political environment, and explained why morals shouldn't be compromised for power. We recently talked with her about why she feels called to speak out, despite a huge backlash from some of her followers. Here is part of our conversation with Beth Moore.
I've seen some people say, and I think I've observed this myself, you being a little more outspoken about cultural, political issues in recent months. I'm wondering if that's something that you've perceived to be true too, or if you think people are just paying attention more to some of your cultural, political thoughts than usual.
Well, to some extent, Tyler, I would have to own up to that. I've been pretty outspoken in all the books and Bible studies along the way about cultural issues, like, for instance, women's issues. That's been throughout, and concerns about the oppressed. That's virtually all along in the writings. And I've been outspoken about racism. I was trying to think of the marker when it really began that I started speaking very clearly to it, and I landed on about 20 years ago when I first filmed the series Breaking Free, because I did it very intentionally in a black church and took on the topic of prejudice and racism. So the big difference, of course, now is that social media is just a far more public platform. It just, everything about the way we communicate, and not only about the way we communicate, but really, Tyler, with whom we're communicating. Because think back, in the day of just writing books and curriculum, the person who wants to hear it or wants to read it is the one reading it. Does that make sense? It's no longer, on social media, it's no longer just the people who like us or are open to what we have to say that are reading. It's anybody. And I mean, that's fair game. But that really changed a lot of the rules of play, is that we've just gone so much more public in our platform, where there used to be, this was the spiritual realm, and then where we talked about things of the church, and then this was the political realm, or the financial realm of business, whatever it might be. All those things used to be a lot more distinct from one another, and now it's just this big pool in social media, and that's just the way it is. But I do want to say this regarding politics, because I have been asked numerous times why a person who's only spoken publicly to matters in the spiritual arena would spill over into the political arena, and I want to answer that, but put it as succinctly as I know how, because the political arena spilled like a tidal wave into the spiritual arena in the last year and a half, with what I felt at least were really toxic waters. I mean, dangerous waters. So, my concerns are the church. It's not that I don't have political opinions. Of course I do, and stands that I would take in my personal life and in my, vocally in my family and among my peers and people in my personal life. But the reason I got more vocal was because of the overlap with the witness of the church and the witness of Christianity, and our care with the name of Christ, and that the message being preached loudly to the world about our values and what we were willing to compromise to get what we wanted. And I just found it deeply disturbing that our tolerance for wrong to get what we think is right. And you have to understand, Tyler, that what I spoke out about was what I found so disturbing coming from my own world. When I felt personally about it, because this is the evangelical world that I've been part of all of my life and served for 40 out of 60 of my years. And I've never thought that world was perfect. No more perfect than I was or any other individual within it. We're what make it up. But I would have believed, and that generally speaking, it was true. And I want to see if I can explain that what we appeared to be was what we, to a large extent, were. And I think that what hit me with such concern over these last 18 months is that I felt that its most public witness in politics, I'm talking about not all, but just in some very, very influential areas of evangelical leadership, that I felt like the public witness of it seemed to be, it felt to me dishonest. Mm-hmm. And I know that's saying a lot, and I've thought carefully about the word I want to use, but it seemed to me that the candidacy was not represented as a quandary. It was instead represented as this long-awaited victory. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that instead of being treated as the messiness that it really was, because it just really was, and it really was a quandary, but instead of being treated as the messiness it was, it bordered on the near messianic to me.
Oh, yeah.
I just was like, it was like, this is all our hopes and dreams come true, and people were buying it. And I'm just going to tell you something. If you're going to sell me something, sell me what it really is. And I feel this way in every meaningful sphere of life, Tyler, whether it's in a church context, a political context, news, media, a social context, relational context, I don't care what it is. But don't put a bike in front of me and try to sell it to me as a truck. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to buy that. I don't care how enthusiastic the sales pitch is, or how long it goes on, or how winsome and loyal the salesman is, or how much I even like him or her. If it's a bike, I want to call it a bike. I don't want to call it a truck. I'm willing to rub my eyes and put on a pair of glasses and do my best to make sure I'm not having vision problems. But if I keep seeing two slender wheels and a set of handlebars, I'm probably going to say that is not a truck. That is a bike. And I know that I'm just having to somehow appeal to a metaphor here. But here's the thing: if I don't mind talking about the bike, I might not have wanted to be on the back of it, but I could take an honest approach to what we're dealing with. There were people that thought this is our only way forward. This is the only way we can go where we need to go. Okay, I can understand that. I might not want to get on that vehicle, but I can understand that. I can have that conversation.
Sure.
Just don't keep selling me on a truck. Now, I don't know if I've made my point with any clarity at all, or if that makes the least bit of sense. But that's how I felt. That I felt like, and I didn't feel like it was just me. I had concerns for the people of God that we were being sold, that we kept being sold something that wasn't so. It was not what it was painted to us. And I found it deeply disturbing.
You, over Twitter recently, talked about how in the past you've been cautioned against speaking up about sexual harassment and sexual abuse in the church. And I think that's something that a lot of people, certainly a lot of women, especially women in leadership in evangelical circles, can relate to. From your experience and just what you've observed, especially over the past few years, and especially now with the recent explosion of women talking about this with the Me Too campaign, how do you feel like the church needs to improve the way that it talks to and about victims of abuse? And what are some ways that the church can move forward, and we as Christians can move forward in terms of helping our culture with this dialogue that has been silenced so many times in the past?
I'd love to speak to that. I want to say, to the church's credit, in this particular current climate, that I am so thankful that we talk about it much more freely than we did when I was a young woman, and when it was said to me early on. And let me tell you something, the person that said to me that it would be death to my ministry to talk about it publicly, she said it in love because she was for me. She did not want me to harm the ministry by causing it to have that kind of discoloration on it. She didn't mean that it was right or wrong, that it was so, but that it just was so. People cannot tolerate that subject. They won't be able to bear it. Don't touch it. And so, I found it. The reason why I found it impossible to do, because it was so much of what shaped a lot of my defeat. And Tyler, in my own teaching, it is so important to me to bring my authentic story, because I want so desperately for people to make it. I want them to be able to live victoriously, and I know the kinds of things that can get in our way and can cause us to make all sorts of poor decisions and walk in poor judgment. And so I couldn't tell my story, and I couldn't tell why I had lived such a portion of my life in the pit and never make any reference. It was huge. I mean, how do you maneuver around that? So I couldn't be true. And I thought, how in the world am I going to explain to somebody that this is my story? This is where, how do you say to somebody, he became, I'm talking about Jesus became life to me, because I literally survived on him. I mean, I did. How do you tell? How can I be myself and not say this was a part of my childhood and that this was very impactful? And so I had to find a way to do it. And let me tell you, I did it to the extreme displeasure of some of my family. And this is without ever telling who it was, without ever making any identification, but it just still was so painful to deal with within the family. And I understand it, but it just was necessary. It was a necessary part of serving God in the time that he had given me. So it has gotten so much better than that. But I think what I want to say, I think what helps a lot is for communicators, and I'm going to speak specifically to pastors, certainly women that serve within their churches, teachers and women communicators, and it's certainly them, but not only them. I'm also speaking toward pastors and preachers in churches. See how prevalent it really is. Listen to how often this is happening. And as surely as you would mention other issues in your sermons, begin to implement this same exact issue into what you preach, to make it a part of it where it's talked about on a frequent enough basis that this is open here. This is dialogue here. We address this here just as surely as they would any other topic of pornography, for example. You'll often hear pastors bring up something about pornography. Then let it also lead to how many women have been through anything from sexual misuse to abuse to all sorts of exploitation and harassment, and to serve through it, to make it where it's not something so rarely said that people feel like they have nowhere to go to talk about it. It's incredibly common. And if you figure how many women have been through it and have somehow, in one way or another, anything from harassment to assault or to rape, how very often we have been in situations where someone that held power, that held sway over us, that we fell victim to them, to hear these things and then to realize how many among your congregation are women. It's happening so frequently. I would plead with people, make it a common part of a sermon, something that gets addressed frequently and normally and naturally, that this is something we talk about, where it is a safe place. And I would ask, and I believe this is starting to happen, listen to what they're saying, hear them out, give people the respect of being heard when they say these things have happened. And it will help so much. It will help so much. Create a safe environment to talk about it, a safe environment for people to come forward. And I would say this strongly, Tyler, that it needs to be dealt with when it happens in the church. It needs to be dealt with in such a way that for it to come out, that people would know it was addressed, it was wisely dealt with, that this is the way we responded, that we took it seriously. And then if it's a bigger matter than that, where it needs to come out before the whole church, then that's what needs to happen. But it needs to be dealt with, not hidden. And it needs to be addressed as something of great importance inside the church.
That was Beth Moore. Go Beth Moore. I like her. Stay tuned. Up next, beautiful Eulogy joins us. You're listening to Phaser Days. The song is Lucky Girl. That's my high school nickname. Beautiful Eulogy is a Portland, Oregon-based trio. like the Vince Guaraldi.
Yeah, you
group.
can never have one more. They can't ever have a guest.
No, they're just a trio.
Never.
Well, they don't call them. The name of the group isn't the Beautiful Eulogy Trio.
Yeah.
No.
They know they need to keep flexibility in their future.
There was a fourth
They've
person in
learned
the
the
band.
lesson.
There was a fourth.
And one time he read the bio and said,
Trio.
Oh, you know,
Who's
like,
the-
hey Rick, do you mind updating the bio on the side?
Who's the-
Just,
who's
give
the
it
fourth?
give it a good long proofread if you don't
I
mind.
thought you guys really needed me. In the,
The trio is made up of artists Braille, Odd Thomas, and Cortland Urbano. They are the Humble Beast record guys.
Yeah.
On their new album, Worthy, the group presents a distinct sound that combines worship, hip hop, and even traces of folk. We recently sat down with Braille to hear the songs that changed his life and influenced him as an artist. Here is Braille from Beautiful Eulogy.
I can't always rely on my desires, but I treat them like a messiah. I can't always rely on my desires, but I treat them like a messiah.
The first song I have is from A Tribe Called Quest, and the song is called Steve Biko, Stir It Up. So I was born in 1981 and went through the various eras of just kind of whatever was popular, you know, New Kids on the Block, kind of that earlier era. But then kind of was first, some of my early introductions would have been more like pop rap stuff, MC Hammer, things like that. And I started getting more into like the Seattle grunge music and garage bands, you know, leading up to like the Nirvana era. And around then, since I was raised in Portland, Oregon, a lot of the hip hop that started becoming popular would have been like gangster rap, which I liked some of it, but it was never something I saw myself doing because that didn't reflect my life or anything. And so my dad had one of those things where you would get these tapes in the mail. It was like a subscription service like Columbia Music or whatever. They just send you CDs. And so we got the Tribe Called Quest Midnight Marauders album. And listening to it, I was like, okay, this is different than a lot of the kind of hip hop I've been exposed to. I just fell in love with the album, and it made me want to start rapping, taking rap more serious, because I felt like, oh, so I can actually just rap about myself. I can have fun with it and just talk about like my normal life. I don't have to try and be something that I'm not in order to be a rapper. Because I was always one of those kids that if I liked something, I wanted to do it myself. So if I liked basketball, I wanted to play it. And when I got into like the garage bands, I tried to play the guitar, but I was no good. I tried to sing, I was no good. And then I tried rapping. I probably was no good at that as well. Well, I know I was no good at it, but there was enough there to make me feel like I'll stick with this. But also why that was so influential. So one, it was like it told me, okay, I can just be myself. I can rap. But also on that cover, they had all these pictures of different artists. And then inside the credits, they listed it. And that was kind of my introduction to a lot of what's now considered golden era East Coast hip hop, whether it was De La Soul, Jungle Brothers, KRS-One, Gangstar, Eric B. and Rakim. And that became kind of super influential. So I was this like East Coast hip hop head living in Portland, Oregon. And that album was the catalyst both for wanting to be an artist, but starting just from being a huge hip hop fan.
When we coming through, get tickets to see me. We work for the paper, so there'll never be a preemie. Lyrics are abundant, cause we got it by the mass. Egos are idle, cause the music is the jazz. Venezuela on the pitch. Curveball, catch it. I think I got it locked. Just move while I latch it. Right. Now I must move with the quickness. In comes Shaheed, so we must bear the witness.
So song number 2, my aunt and uncle knew I was collecting records and was looking for interesting stuff. And for Christmas, they bought me this album by an artist, Andreas Vollenweider. And the song was Caverna Magica. And anyway, there was a song on there called Lunar Pond. So the next song is Andreas Vollenweider, Lunar Pond. So Andreas Vollenweider, he plays the harp. And I knew a lot of hip hop music was sample based. And so I was trying to figure out like what kind of flavor, what kind of flavor am I going to bring? A lot of the artists that I listened to obviously sampled from a lot of jazz and funk music, but a lot of that had been just riddled through, Average White Band, James Brown, that stuff. It just been sampled so much. And so I was trying to find other types of genres of music and different types of sounds that I could incorporate into my music. And so my aunt and uncle, I think they were really into like new age music and world music. So they ended up picking up this record for me. And right when I put it on, it's like folly noises and somebody walking in a cave and, using raindrops and then pitching them and stuff. And I just found it really, really interesting. But he started riffing on this Lunar Pond song, on his harp, and it just sounded so dope to me. And so it also became like this gateway where I started listening to Kitaro and Tamita and a lot of these other composers, that made that kind of music. But what really got me interested in Andreas Vollenweider is that he would take his harp and he would play it, but he would mesh with other genres. So he had this other album, and he'd go to Ireland and he would work with Irish musicians, but he would just add his harp. And he would go to China and he would work with Chinese musicians, but he would just add his harp. And that always influenced how I thought about wanting to approach music. I didn't want to be kind of locked into just, one kind of meshing of genres, but wanted to always be able to explore new sounds and try different things. But I think also it's just that there was an emotion in the new age sounding music that I was like, okay, yeah, that's what I want to find in terms of what things I want to rap about. I want it to be emotional. And so it helped me to start exploring that. Song number 3 would be David Crowder, Beautiful Collision. So I wasn't raised in the church, and so I never really listened to a lot of CCM or like praise and worship. I wasn't raised on any of that, DC Talk, anything like that. So even when it came to Christian music, the first Christian music I was ever exposed to was Christian hip hop, because I was a hip hop head before I was converted. And then once I was converted, I didn't even necessarily become like a Christian hip hop head. I just kept still listening to hip hop. But every now and then I started hearing of Christians that made it, which was weird to me because I thought at the time, maybe I'm the only Christian who raps, as a 14-year-old or 15-year-old. So as I was touring, I remember I was touring a lot around that time. 2004, I released Shades of Grey, 2006, Box of Rhymes. And I would just be on the road and usually all by myself. And I don't know how I came across the album, the Collision album from David Crowder. But as I did, I listened to it and it was like, oh, these are like praise songs and worship songs and songs that talk about God, but I can actually relate to them. And so it just became my like soundtrack for touring. So again, I'm kind of picking one song to represent a whole thing, but it was like my gateway into worship music. And really, I never had like a lot of discipleship and stuff, and didn't really at the time know how to read my Bible very well. And so the main way I would connect with God would be turning on music and listening to it and singing and singing along with the songs and beginning to pray, things like that. And so really, I would say the Beautiful Collision. Also just the fact that it was a lot of worship music that I'd heard was very corporate in the way it was written. And David Crowder had these songs that were more written in the first person or were more personal. So I think that was a lot of what helped me relate with it as well. It was like him talking about wrestling with his doubts, things like that. I hadn't heard that in worship music before. Like, I'm wrestling with my doubts, but I'm like colliding with you and you're bigger than I am. And, those type of ideas. I hadn't heard that communicated in music. And so, yeah, it just really, I think, in my walk with the Lord during that time, and a lot of times traveling alone, it just became an intricate part of how I connected with God and kind of began growing in my relationship with him. Song number 4 is from JT, and I don't mean Timberlake. It's the OG JT, James Taylor. And the song is Your Smiling Face. My dad passed away 2007, and he was renting in a home and didn't own it. And we had to clear out all of his stuff because we didn't want to have to keep paying the rent where he was at. But he had a CD collection, and so I was like, man, I don't want to get rid of this stuff. And so I kept a lot of the music. But around 2010, I was in a nostalgic season, and I was a single father, and I had my 3-year-old daughter. And so I kind of made like this CD of a bunch of songs that I pulled from some of my dad's music collection. And me and my daughter, we would drive around, and I'd always put on Your Smiling Face. And I'd be driving, and I'd see her in the rearview mirror, and she'd be singing along with me. It would just make me so happy every time. And so I just she'd just be grooving in her car seat. And I was like, I want to put it on again. So I was just always rocking Your Smiling Face. He also has another song, How Sweet It Is. And she would do this like hand motion, the stop and thank you, baby. She would do it with her hand. And oh man, I just loved it so much. So even when I'd perform live, I put Your Smiling Face in my set, and I would sing along with it and dance to it. But yeah, that song just brought me a lot of happiness.
Thought I was in love a couple of times before with the girl next door, but that was long before I met you. Now I'm sure that I won't forget you, and I thank my lucky stars that you are who you are, and not just another lovely lady sent down to break my heart. Isn't it amazing a man like me can feel this way? Tell me how much longer it can grow stronger every day. Yeah.
Number 5 is Al Green, God Blessed Our Love. So this song in particular is the song that my wife walked down the aisle to, which I remember just watching her walk and the song's playing, and I'm thinking, this is so cool. I became an Al Green fan while I was touring in Germany. I was at this guy's house, and he played this, I think it was like a documentary called The Gospel According to Al Green. And it was, at least at the time, I haven't went back and watched it again, but I loved the documentary. And Al Green just seemed like such a happy dude. And he was telling like some pretty brutal stories of like some pretty hard situations he went through, and talking about the kind of when his life turned around. And so he just had like so much joy in this documentary. And I just like started loving his music. So I was, playing Let's Stay Together and Love and Happiness and all these other jams. And as I started getting deeper into his catalog, found God Blessed Our Love, and was playing some of those songs for my wife. And when we were talking about our wedding and what songs we were going to use and stuff, she's like, what if I walk to that song? I think it was her idea. And I was like, are you kidding me? You want to walk down the aisle to an Al Green song? And obviously it was just a super significant. I was a single father, chilling by myself with my daughter, listening to James Taylor, listening to Al Green and stuff. And all of a sudden now it's like I'm getting married, and my wife's walking down the aisle to an Al Green song. So that song just was a part of a huge moment.
That was beautiful eulogy. Stay tuned. Up next, your feedback.
I can feel my fingers holding on to you. I can feel my body speaking on the truth. I can feel our destiny breaking into two. I can feel my fingers
spiritual center of a great research university, Duke Divinity School attracts students from across the nation and around the world. You'll find a vibrant community of students and faculty engaged in rigorous scholarship and deep formation for the good of the church, academy, and the world. The application for fall 2018 acceptance is live now at divinity.duke.edu. Use discount code DukeRelevant, one word, Duke Relevant, and apply today. Community, Scholarship, Church. Duke Divinity School.
I can't feel my fingers holding on to you. I can't feel my body speaking on the truth. I can't feel our destiny breaking into two. But I can't feel my fingers getting over you.
You're listening to King Henry and Ryax. The song is Destiny. Okay, it's time for your feedback. So before that, corrections and apologies. I don't know how this show will be edited, but we said a lot of salacious things. So in case Chandler got a little lazy, sorry about some of the stuff that slipped through.
I apologize for nothing except for besmirching apricot jam. You have all my apologies.
So it's time for your feedback. Last week, the question of the week, we asked you, it was a hard-hitting question. Jesse brought us the breaking news about Mad Mike wanting to solve once and for all the question of the flat Earth theory. He wanted to prove it once and for all by shooting himself up into the air 5,000 feet in a steam-powered rocket to confirm that the Earth is indeed flat. So we asked you, what other mysteries should Mad Mike tackle next? You guys hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast, and you posted on the episode page at relevantmagazine.com. Here are a few of our favorites.
I mean, Matt, I think, actually brings up a decent point.
Yeah.
Matt says, all right, the whole flat Earth thing is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to NASA trying to control our perception of reality. Mad Mike needs to take a look at the conspiracy of stars. We have all asked ourselves at one point why stars aren't visible in cities. I have not asked myself that. We're told that it's noise pollution. I don't know that we are.
Light pollution is, I think, what he's going for there.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I just read it. I'm Ron Burgundy. Well, by my calculations, stars should be way brighter than city lights. So this explanation is clearly a farce. NASA must be projecting the stars into a sheet covering the night sky to comfort and subdue those in rural communities.
Those Iowans are weathered.
Yeah.
That's right. If you were that weathered, you would want comfort too.
Yeah. Matt continues, and it gets pretty deep into the wormhole, but I'm just saying, I'm a believer.
This is for real.
Your Facebook feed is going to be really weird now.
Yeah.
You said that.
Hey, this is for real.
A lot of flat Earth stuff.
So when I was doing some Mad Mike research, waiting about his rocket launch, I kind of got into, I was like Googling like flat Earth because I figured Mad Mike would be the first coming up. And there's like more people that are like converting to the flat Earth movement. And they have there's like a flat Earth podcast where these guys, it's a weekly thing where they talk to scientists and stuff about flat Earth theories. And just out of curiosity, I'm like, dude, I gotta, because to me, it's a joke.
It's impossible to actually.
There are people that actually believe, and when I say actually believe, these aren't insane people. These are people who have are susceptible to self-delusion, obviously.
I have a question. Do they believe that
it's a global conspiracy? I listened to like 4 hours of their podcast.
I don't know the specifics.
I did.
Oh my God.
I don't know the specifics of their theory.
Okay, I'm pretty well versed.
But do they believe there's an edge?
They do. So they believe that
Where is it?
It is. So if you look at they believe that the Earth looks like the UN logo, which they believe is part of the global conspiracy. So the UN logo has Antarctica in the middle and the continents surrounding it. On the edge, like I said, I went deep down this rabbit hole, guys. We can go there if you want. On the edge.
Do you listen to the talk radio at like 2 a.m.?
Oh, yeah.
Coast to coast?
Art
Nori. Art Bell. Yeah, George Nori and Art Bell.
No way.
All the time, man.
No.
I go there, man. I go there.
I love it.
So anyway, what they believe is on the outer edge is essentially like a wall of ice. Like just.
Why do they think we don't because fly into it on an airplane or something? Like what?
Because the airlines are in on it and they know not to go that far. They know just to go in between the continents and not to go to the ice wall. That's what they believe.
Wow. Wait. But the ice wall isn't on the poles.
It's around. It's so imagine.
So
imagine
kind of like the
plane
Truman
looks like
Show.
a dinner
There's
plate.
a wall.
Exactly.
There's an edge.
And speaking of the Truman Show, they believe that the atmosphere is essentially like a dome. And so the firmament
that explains
is
it.
like a dome, and the sun and moon are actually a lot smaller and are very close as well. Like they're not like hundreds of thousands of miles. They're like
hundreds of millions and millions.
Well, the moon, they don't think it's like 240,000 miles away. They think it's like 3,000. And it's much smaller.
Smart.
I'm just saying, I went down this rabbit hole and they have their own solutions for everything. And like, they're not proposing this ironically. Like they believe the earth is flat and they believe there's a global conspiracy to make people distrust their perceptions of reality and trust whatever they're told.
Wow.
I went there, man. I went down the hole.
And they don't find it odd at all that cosmology sounds oddly like Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Well, they actually bring that up. They actually bring up the ice ball thing, and they're like, "Well, this was our theory first."
Oh, so like Game of Thrones is a documentary.
No, they're just like, it's not like people are going to think it's like Game of Thrones. They're like, no, this is science. That's legitimately what they believe.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so you went down the wormhole. Have you come out the other side? Or
Yeah,
are you still down
I'm
there?
never a believer.
Oh, okay.
I'm not a flat earther. I believe in conventional science.
Okay.
I wasn't, because I'll say this, my curiosity in it wasn't, is there a global conspiracy?
Yeah.
My curiosity is how can people possibly believe this? Like, I wasn't, the theory itself, or the theory, the insanity of it isn't all that interesting to me. What's interesting to me is that rational people can be susceptible to believe it.
Do they believe in a creator or that this evolved in that shape?
It depends. Some of them actually use the Bible, as medieval theologians did, will use the Bible to confirm, the opposite, geocentrism,
right,
which is that the earth is the center of it all. Just like the medieval church did. That's why Galileo was, cast off as a heretic because he proposed heliocentrism. So yeah, it's a whole thing, man.
That's what a lot of people that I talk to that are flat earthers.
Whoa, you know flat earthers?
I do.
I don't know any
relatives
personally
that are flat earthers.
No,
and most of them that I speak,
Really?
and most of them that I speak to are Christians who have biblical religious
They're
reasons.
actual. So they believe.
I'm starting to understand the population.
But they believe there's a global conspiracy,
Right, because they're like the Bible says that the earth is flat. I don't know where they got that from, but they say the Bible says that the earth is flat, and the Bible says that there's a firmament. And so the only way to protect the Bible and its inerrancy and its infallibility and all that kind of stuff, to say that this is God's word, it has to be exactly true like it's written there.
Yeah.
So,
So God created essentially a snow globe that he's watching.
Yeah,
basically.
I mean, it's like, when you say something like, the sun is in the center, or like, the sun stood still. The Bible says the sun stood still. Therefore, the sun has to move because the Bible said so.
Flat earthers also believe that the moon, they also believe that the moon emits its own light. It's not reflecting the sun. And so they also say that then that's in Genesis, that there's a greater light and a lesser light. They're like, no, it's a light. It's not like we would say, well, that's just the poetic understanding of someone who's living in relatively primitive times, their understanding of what they see and trying to articulate that, you know?
Yeah.
They would say, this is what the Bible says literally. I'm telling you, because before, the Kyrie Irving thing and like, who else? It was Shaq. It was what's his name on the Warriors?
Draymond Green.
Draymond's a flat earther. These guys are college educated people.
Yeah.
Kyrie went to Duke.
Can we pause?
And so I was really curious about how people could believe this.
Can we pause this for a second, Cameron? We're listening to this. Don't you believe that Jesse is 1% in? Like the conviction that he talks about, and the amount that he knows about
I
it.
am not. I am not flat. I'm just saying. I get curious about stuff. I want to know. I want to know why they believe it.
Okay. I respect your intellectual pursuit of understanding and affirm it.
And you also agree with me. It's between 1% and 4%.
1 and 4.
Yeah, he's somewhere.
All I'm saying,
he heard something that he can't quite debunk.
Yeah, there was like a little sparkle in his eye when he was talking about
something. He's just like, well, that's an interesting.
Here's the thing, guys.
on that.
You can
You said
I will not believe it when one of you guys goes to the ice wall with me and you tell me what's out there. You tell me there's not an ice wall.
I'll tell you what's out there. White Walkers. That's what's out there.
Exactly.
Don't even get close.
They're everywhere.
All right. Any other feedback?
Yeah, there's a lot. Someone was mad. They got other stuff from Mad Mike, but I think we've covered Mad Mike's territory pretty thoroughly. Someone was mad that we didn't ask Richard Rohr about magnetic fingers. They felt like we had promised to do it.
He would have given the loveliest, most thoughtful answer, I'm sure, ever.
I know. He probably would have. So I've gotten, look, this is what someone posted. This is this is saying what would happen if we ask everyone that question, and it is a stock market arrow pointing up if we were to pursue the magnetic fingers thing. So people won't stop talking about it.
All right. Well, there's a lot more. There's a lot more feedback there. Go check it out.
Done some good work.
Okay, it's time for this week's
editorial question of the week.
All right. Well, as we tend to do on this podcast, we brought you your Christian celebrities talking about Jesus.
Yeah, this is our thing.
And we brought you your internet wormholes.
This has been the most on-brand podcast.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I could do a whole internet wormhole podcast.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, like I go down them all the time.
Honestly, we know.
Yeah.
We've been on the show for quite a while. We know.
His daughter doesn't know his name.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time. This is important stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, we're talking about a global conspiracy here, dude.
Yeah, honestly.
We want to know for this week's question of the week, what internet wormholes have you found yourself going down? Just intellectual curiosity, wanting to learn more about people different than you, or beliefs different than your own, or theories. What internet wormholes have you
Can I say
gone
too,
down?
one maybe a little politically incorrect, but there's a lot of theories. One that isn't, that's just interesting, is fan theories about what's on the ground on the Jetsons right now. Like a lot of people, that was a big one.
I do love that stuff.
That was a big one. Okay, this is one
That's hilarious.
That's great.
Wait. We never see the ground.
Thank you.
Wait a second.
Exactly.
Wait, ever?
Wow, that was
we
really good.
never see the ground?
That was you?
Yeah, man, thanks.
Yeah, you never see the ground. So there's a lot of internet fan theories about.
So it's almost like the movie WALL-E.
Yeah, or is it like a
the
connected universe with the Flintstones? Like, was that
Maybe.
once the ground of what the Jetsons are? Like in the
do love
future?
this.
Like, there's like a lot of interesting. There's
Well, didn't they have a crossover episode? I think they did.
yeah. I mean, I had that's one I'm just digging into.
I do love all the all the Pixar movies are connected. Like I love all that
Okay, yeah,
stuff.
that internet wormhole I've gone down.
I love
That's
that.
true. Yeah.
And that writer John Negrano, he writes for us all the time. He's the one who came up with the Pixar
cool.
theory.
Yeah.
I love
So
the.
imagine,
he's a relevant writer.
Connect this.
yes.
Jesse found himself going down in a wormhole connected with the originator of the theory, and then now the guy is a significant writer for
Finally.
us.
He is. He writes all the time for
And
us.
Jesse
yeah.
finally ends the wormhole at his own top 10 youth director haircuts article.
I was saying the internet. I don't know if you guys know this. There's a lot of weird stuff on the internet.
I like. Have you seen
I
the
have
one?
a family filter on mine. I'm not allowed to see half the sites you're
a lot
on.
of the wormholes I'm going down.
Have you seen the one where like all of the TV shows are connected to? I love all those.
Yeah, it's like
All
the
that's-
Frasier verse.
Yeah,
is what
that's
they call
right.
it.
Yeah.
Frasier verse.
That you can
Frasier.
connect.
I think it was a slice I brought maybe even too. But keep going, Jesse.
That all these spin-offs of spin-offs, so guest characters that you can trace. A lot of sitcoms all live in the same connected universe because they shared characters at some point, even on the guest appearances.
There was a funny one the other day with the guy from the dad from Modern Family that was also on
Married
Married
with
with Children.
Yeah.
That there was a still from him from Modern Family and a still from Married with Children. And he's reading the same newspaper.
The same
in each
newspaper with the same front page in both of them.
Which
And
is
the
nuts.
internet exploded.
Yeah. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But there's got to be other wormholes.
Oh, there are so many other
Endless.
worms.
That's what the internet is, basically.
Yeah, exactly. So
All right, so we want to know your favorite or just internet wormholes you found yourself going down and what you experienced in those wormholes. And have you come out the other side? Or are you still in them like Jesse? You can hit us up on Twitter at Relevant Podcast, or you can post your more elaborate responses on the podcast episode page at relevantmagazine.com. Many thanks to this episode's sponsors for making the show possible. Go see Lady Bird, the best reviewed movie of all time, breaking records, and it's got an amazing redemptive prodigal daughter
I cannot wait to see it. Is it in theaters yet?
Yeah. It opens wide. It's opening wide right now. We actually saw it. Our staff got to go 2-3 weeks ago, and it was
that email.
It was
Sorry.
phenomenal. Also, Away Travel. For $20 off a suitcase, visit awaytravel.com/relevant and use promo code relevant during checkout. Awesome stuff. And also Casper. Get $50 toward any mattress purchase by visiting casper.com/RM, which stands for
Just Relevant Magazine. I don't want to mess around with the sponsor again.
And using promo code RM at checkout. Hey, thanks to our guests for joining us today. Thank you to Beth Moore. You can follow her on Twitter at Beth Moore LPM. And Beth,
and you should.
Thanks for, it's a great
should be
follow.
awesome.
And thanks for being a voice of reason in Christian leadership. Also, thanks to Beautiful Eulogy. You can follow them on Twitter at Beautiful Eulogy. Their new album, Worthy, is out now. Hey, if you're looking for a good gift, a stocking stuffer that was not on Eddie's top 10 things people don't want
Not
list,
even on the top 50.
we have a special gift offer for Relevant Magazine subscriptions going on now. Go over to the website and check it out. It's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, literally for an entire
Every
year.
other month, you're
For a
reminded
year. Yeah.
of Jesse's interests.
And the person you give it to, when they get it, they get access to the iPad version right away, right?
iPad, all the digital archives, everything.
A lot of wormholes coming this year. A lot of wormholes.
Yeah, I don't want to give it away, but something about the next.
It's called a tease.
Yeah,
It's called a tease.
It's all about wormholes.
Hey, and while you're online, head over to iTunes, and if you like the show, and only if you like the show, leave a review or a comment or a rating. It helps helps it get in front of more people.
Can I add one quick plug too?
Oh,
I
yeah,
always
please.
do this, but one of the RPN podcasts made history this week.
Oh yeah, the Relevant Podcast Network. Everybody in this room except for me and Andre host a different show. Eddie with New Activist and Jesse hosts. Relevant is doing a sports
That's
podcast.
right. And this week, I haven't confirmed with the record keepers at the podcast archives and Apple headquarters, but I'm pretty sure this is history making.
Yeah.
This week we became, and from my research,
we being Relevant is doing a sports podcast.
This is a teaser, by the way.
Yeah, this is a teaser.
This is
The
what they
only
look like.
podcast in history to have an interview with Pope Francis and the most dangerous man alive, UFC legend Ken Shamrock, in the same episode. A man of peace and a man of violence in one episode. You are not going to want to hear it. Download it.
You're not going to want to hear it. You just said.
No, you're not going to want to miss it. Take that out.
And I just to be bitter, I have an incredible conversation with Latasha Morrison about racial reconciliation. The MMA fighter's going to smoke this.
Yeah. Well, the Pope too.
Oh yeah, the Pope. Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, we'll wrap it up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Jesse Carey.
I'm Eddie Koffoltz.
I'm Andre Henry.
I'm Chandler String.
We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you for listening to the Relevant Podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to leave us a review on iTunes. Check out other shows from the Relevant Podcast Network in the podcast section at relevantmagazine.com. And while you're there, browse exclusive podcast merchandise at our online store. Make sure to subscribe to Relevant Magazine. Info is available at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
Black rainbows never stop. Hey, I'm never gonna give you up my love. Give you up my love. Whispers, lies, the ghosts in your eyes, the burn out, the dies, black rainbows from my eyes.
You know, I was expecting to be teased there.